Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel. In this video, I will show you how to use PowerApps modern form control to collect and manage data efficiently for SharePoint list. Here is the SharePoint list we will be working with today, and it contains the columns like this leave title is a title column by default, and employee name is a person column, submitted date and start and end dates are the date columns, leave type is a choice column, and department also choice column. Here team lead is a person column, and leave this is a number column, and the reason for leave is a multi-line text column. We will create a dynamic form to collect the data for this list, and this form will make data entry easier with the features like placeholders, responsive layouts and custom styles. Let's see the PowerApps modern form control now. In PowerApps, to get the modern form control, we first need to enable the modern controls in the settings. So in the top navigation, you can see this ellipses. Click on this one and click on the settings. And here go to the updates. Under new you can see the modern form controls and themes. Just enable this one. I already enabled. After this one, click on the close, and then you can get all the modern controls. So from this insert tab you can search for the form control, and it is already there. So just click on this one. Then for this one we need to provide the data source. As you can see, I already show you that SharePoint list named employee leave request. Now we will be connecting to this form control. This is the modern form control, and look at the UI design for this modern form control, which is looking professional when compared to the classic form control. And here I took the classic one for comparison. So the UI design is good for this modern form control compared to the classic one. And here this modern form control includes all the controls for these fields are modern only. For example, let's preview this once. This is the date picker, and you can see that we can it is showing the labels for selecting the month, and also we can select the date and we can go back and come. And here we also see this functionality, go to today, so we can come back to this current date. Also the for the choice columns we have the drop down like this, and in the classic form control you can see the date will be look like this. We can just only select the date, and we cannot like in the modern form control we can't select the day month over here. And here is the drop down which is using the classic, which is the classic one, and it is displaying the choice values over here. But we have one drawback in the modern form control. So by defaultly when I added this classic form control with the SharePoint list, we are getting that person field directly over here. If I am searching any user, I will also get over here Patty Finance. Now, when we check in the modern form control, we can't get that one directly. So this is the employee name, which is a person field. If you see here, it is showing some numbers. That is because we didn't assign the fields for this one. In the properties pane, you can see we have these fields. Click on this edit, and here click on this add field, and you can select from here. So I want to display the employee names, so I am adding this display name. After adding this one, now save it once, and while previewing you can see I'm getting the employees names. But when I'm searching for any particular user, see, I'm not at all getting it. It is showing only the first three members. But this modern drop down control, it is working fine for the choice values, and it is not fetching the values. I mean, it is not fetching all the employees who are present in the organization. It is only showing the first three members. In this video, I will also explain you how to get Office 365 users into this modern drop down control. Now we will see the properties that are available for this modern form control. And here you can easily switch between vertical or horizontal layout by choosing over here. So when I choose the horizontal, it will be changed, and it is vertical one. And also you can adjust the number of the columns. So in the columns drop down, we can select up to 12 is when we select 2, it will take the 2 columns only. So according to our requirement, we can choose the columns over here, and here we can provide the border number. Also we can choose the border style, whether is it dotted, dashed or none, anything we can choose it, so it will be appear here. And we can also set the color for the border. For example, I am applying this one, you can see over here it is applying. Also we can provide the height and width dynamically by providing any formulas over here for this width and height properties. When the visible property is turned off, then the form control won't be visible to us. And the main property is the default mode. Property of modern form control in PowerApps controls how the form behaves based on its mode. So here you can see it is having three values: edit, new and view. The edit option allows the user to edit existing data in the form fields and making it useful for updating the records. And this view makes the form read only and letting users view the data without making any changes. And this new option enables the user to input new data into the form, create new records in the data source. So these modes help in creating dynamic forms tailored to specific actions such as editing, viewing or adding data. We are going to make the form as a new, so we can input the data. So while clicking the submit button, it will save the data we entered to the SharePoint list. And then we will see the properties present in the form control. And here I will take this label now. For this label, we can see the text property. It is coming directly, the formula is parent dot display name. So it is taking directly from the SharePoint list. And this visible property, as I said before, it allows whether we can able to make it visible or invisible based on this property. And this wrap behavior is used. For example, the field name is the large one. When we click on this wrap, so it will be within the space only, it will be aligned and it will just take some more extra space. Otherwise, let me show you one example now. I am just adjusting its width 50. I changed the width, you can see. Now the label width is small, so we are not able to see the field name properly. When I enable this wrap, you can see the name is comes in the down. So when we increase the height of the label, we can able to see that one. So wrap will adjust the name within the provided width only. Let's see some other properties. Here we have align one. So in this align property, it is showing some values like start, end, center and justify. So when I click on the end, you can see the name is displaying on the end of the label. And when I click on the center, it will be, the name will be present in the center and justify will be present in starting only. And vertically align. So this will be, this align is for horizontal align. For vertical align, you can see top, middle and bottom. Now let's see the positions once. And here we have X and Y positions. This X describes the distance between the control's left side and the distance between the screen's left edge. So when I am providing, when I am decreasing the X position, you can see it is moving left side. Now the Y position describes the distance between the top of this form control and the top of this label control. Now when I am decreasing this Y position, you can see the difference now. Now it is going on to the top. So with this X and Y position, we can adjust the labels position. And then we have the size, width and height properties. And padding, we can provide the values for the right, for the top, right, bottom and left. And now we will see the style and theme properties. And here we have the fill property. So here only we can select the theme for this one. You can see the fill property is applied for that label. And for this font, we can select from this drop down. I am selecting this one. So the font will be changed. And here using the font size, we can provide the font size. I'm changing to 23. You can see it is varying now. And then font color, we can select any color. I choose this one. And the font weight, we can choose medium, regular, bold and semi bold. And the font style, we can make it italic or underline. You can see the difference when I'm clicking this one. And this is the strike one. At a time, we can also apply the three font styles, or we can select any one thing. And here For the border, you can choose the border style and we can provide the border thickness number, and the color also we can choose over here. Like this we can add the border, and we can also provide the border radius like 15 I'm going to provide now, and you can see the difference. But these functionalities and these properties are not present for classic form control. Let's see the properties for this field now. And here you can see I have a placeholder text, so I can provide what is the purpose of this one. Provided enter leave title. You can see now it is present over here. Under behavior, we have this mode type, display mode, and trigger output. Let's see how it is working. For this mode, we can make it as a single or multi-line. So here, this is a reason for leave, which is a multi-line text in the SharePoint list. So for this one, I select the multi-line text, and here this is for single line of text. So I use single line only. And when come to the type, you can see over here it is showing three properties: password, search, and text. When I choose password, whatever I entered in this one, we can't see that one. For example, I am typing something. You can see it is not showing. When I click on this view icon, then only it is showing. This is the new feature which is added over here. Now let's talk about this triggered output property for the text field. It will be useful when we are doing validations for these fields. So it enables when the formula provided in the unchanged property needs to trigger, and it is having the values like delayed, focus out, and key press. Here the focus out triggers unchanged property only when the text input control loses the focus. So when we are providing something and we take the cursor out of that control, then the formula will be triggered. And the second option is the delayed. This delay triggers the unchanged properties formula after a half-second delay, and it is useful for delaying expensive operations until the user completes inputting the text. And the third one is key press. So it will triggers the formula immediately as the user types. So this is the new functionality which is present in the modern control. And here we can see one new property is their appearance. So it is having the values like filled darker, filled lighter, and outline. So when I click on this filled lighter, you can see the background color was gone. And when I select outline, it is only giving the border. So this type UI we can get. Now we have seen some of the properties for the modern controls present in the modern form controls, and we also discussed the properties that are present in the modern form control. Let me explain now how to get the Microsoft Office 365 users into this modern drop-down control. So for that one, first we have to add one data source. So click on this data. Here we need to add the Office 365 connector. Choose this Office 365 users. In the app onStart property, I have provided this code. Here you can see I have created one collection named user collection, which retrieves a list of up to 999 users from the Office 365 directory using this search user function. And I have added new columns to this user collection, claims from the user principal name, and email from the mail, and department name from the department. This makes the collection easier to use by renaming and organizing the data fields. Now click on the app object and click on this run on start property to fetch the employee name. So into this drop down control, in its items property, instead of this choices function, use that collection name. I'm providing that collection name, and also here the team lead, which is also a person field in the SharePoint list. So for this one also I am providing the same collection name. Now we will see. It is showing all the users present in my organization. Here also I am getting all the employee names from my organization. So this way we can get the Microsoft Office 365 users into the modern drop-down control. Now while saving the data, the selected user needs to be updated, right? So for that one, click on this data card go to the update property. We have to provide another formula over here instead of this one. Provide this code in its update property. Here you can see the employee name data card value is the 11. So we need to provide the data card value name dot selected dot email, and here for the display name same we need to provide that one. This is the display name, and for this mail we need to provide like this. So same thing we have to same code we need to provide on the indeed data cards update property, but we just need to change that data card value. There we have 11. Now we need to provide, in place of data card value 11, we need to provide the data card value 12. I'm changing this. Now in the button controls on select property, I have provided the submit form function. So for the submit form function, I have provided the form name, and the notify function will notify the successful message once we submit the data, and also it will reset the data by using this reset form function. Let's preview the application now. I'm providing. After filling the form, you can see the date also. It is displaying the day and month with the date and the year. Now I am clicking on the submit button. Now the data is processed. Let's see the SharePoint list once. See, the data is stored successfully to this SharePoint list. So this way we can use the PowerApps model form control. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe our channel.